Alright everyone, welcome to Goji Review's Kaiju Explained. In this series, we're going to be taking a look at all the different kaiju in the Godzilla universe. First up is Gigan. Gigan is a space cyborg monster who is controlled by the M-Space Nebula alien race. They wanted to take over Earth in his 1972 debut film, Godzilla vs. Gigan. Gigan was used as part of a plot by the M-Nebula aliens who desperately needed a new homeworld. Thinking they could take Earth for themselves, the aliens arrived disguised as deceased people. From there, they began construction of a theme park called World Children's Land. They used this as a base for their operations. Funnily enough, the base was designed to look just like Godzilla and is dubbed Godzilla Tower. The aliens used the tower to relay commands to Gigan and King Ghidorah. By the way, if anyone is wondering, this is what the M-Space Hunter Nebula alien's true form looks like. Eventually, Gigan and King Ghidorah are summoned to destroy Tokyo. Godzilla and Anguirus show up and put a halt to their rampage. The aliens call Gigan and King Ghidorah back to Godzilla Tower, luring Godzilla and Anguirus just as intended. Once back, Gigan and Ghidorah have the upper hand against Godzilla and Anguirus, and this is a very gruesome battle. Gigan really hurts Godzilla and makes him bleed along with Anguirus. Using his buzzsaw on his belly and his hooks, Gigan is a fierce enemy. Godzilla is eventually able to regain himself and puts the beat down on Gigan, forcing Gigan to retreat. The human characters in the film blow up the tower, which puts an end to the aliens' plans once and for all. With Gigan defeated, he would return next year in Godzilla vs. Megalon. Godzilla vs. Megalon. Gigan is seen again in Godzilla vs. Megalon. This time a new race of aliens, the Cetopians, contact the M-Space Nebula aliens requesting to use Gigan in their own invasion of Earth. Gigan and Megalon also prove to be a tough duo for Godzilla and this time Jet Jaguar. Godzilla and Jet Jaguar ultimately are able to defeat Gigan and Megalon, and Gigan flees as the tide turns against him, making Megalon the second ally Gigan has abandoned, and he suffers a pretty brutal beating from Godzilla and Jet Jaguar. Gigan would not be seen in another film for 31 years. And a fun fact, Gigan was actually portrayed by suit actor Kenpachiro Satsuma, and his debut in the Godzilla series was actually as Hedorah in 1971's Godzilla vs. Hedorah. Then he played Gigan in 1972 and 73, and then he would be actually in the Godzilla suit, and he would serve as the Heisei Godzilla from 1984 to 1995. Gigan in the Final Wars has a different origin story. Here, he invaded Earth thousands of years ago, but was thankfully defeated by Mothra. He was eventually found in Hokkaido by scientists who set up a facility around his mummified state. Gigan was eventually activated by the Exilians who were invading Earth. They wanted him to help take over Earth and stop the Gotengo from awakening Godzilla. He is unsuccessful and ends up battling with Godzilla in Antarctica. Godzilla fires his atomic breath and decapitates Gigan. Gigan then returns at the end of the film modified. After being defeated, the Exilians repair Gigan with a new head, braces, a new weapon dubbed Razor Discs, and the most obvious change, two-pronged chainsaws instead of his traditional hooks. He attempts to help Monster X fight Godzilla, and while Gigan does deal a lot of damage to Godzilla, Mothra ultimately comes to his aid. She dodges Gigan's new Razor Disc weapon, but he blasts her with his laser beam. He had thought he had won, only to have his head cut off again, this time by his own Razor Discs that Mothra had dodged, and as if that wasn't enough, he then is blown up by Mothra, who is covered in flames. Some other notable appearances would be Gigan has appeared in some television shows such as Zone Fighter and Godzilla Island. Also, Gigan has been featured in various Godzilla games over the years. Most notably, he has been featured in the Pipeworks trilogy, Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee, Godzilla Save the Earth, and Godzilla Unleashed. He also is a playable character in the Godzilla PS4 game, however, that is his Godzilla Final Wars appearance. Gigan also appears in various comic books, but for this video I'm just focusing on his film history. Gigan is considered to be Godzilla's most violent and probably most brutal opponent. Gigan is described as a bloodthirsty villain who is very vicious in combat. He prefers to shred up his opponents with his hands and buzzsaw. He even attacks his enemies when they are down. Suit actor Setsuma said he portrayed Gigan as enjoying the destruction he makes on purpose. Gigan also shows us that he is a coward, as he retreats 2 times, leaving his allies for goners as soon as the tide of the battle is turned against his favor. In Godzilla Final Wars, Gigan is shown to actually be fairly incompetent. Godzilla easily defeats him in his first battle and then slices his own head off after being tricked by Mothra. Gigan was designed by Takashi Mizugi. Gigan was to be a monster with a different shape and richly colored. It was inspired by multi-layer kimonos worn in Japan. Mizugi wanted a sharp look and took inspiration from birds. Gigan was based off of geese and other birds that migrate. Most notably, he had the neck of an eagle, and his appendages were actually inspired by the Ultra series. And to end this segment, I'm going to show you one of the most brutal takedowns. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of my Kaiju Explained series. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.